Hello there, happy Hearthstoners. You are watching Learning Hearthstone, a YouTube channel all about learning Hearthstone. I'm your host, the Game Diver, and today we're going to be doing a Let's Play with the Inner Spirit Priest deck. If you don't know what the Inner Spirit Priest deck is exactly, that's because I covered it in a previous episode. If you're curious about the strategy of the Inner Spirit Priest deck, check out the link in the description below, where there's a video where I explain the whole deck strategy in greater detail. And if you don't really care, just want to watch a Let's Play, you're in luck because we're about to get right into it. I'll be explaining the Inner Spirit Priest deck in summarized form in a few moments, but first let's take a look at the cards I got to mulligan at the start of my turn. Alright, I'm looking for cheap minions. Frostwolf Grunt is a cheap minion. Ironfur Grizzly is on the border. Lightwell's a cheap minion but doesn't have attack, so it's not exactly what I want. Should I keep these cards? They're all kind of okay for the early game. Yeah, why not? Okay, so let's take a closer look at these cards for those of you who are not familiar or didn't have a chance to look. I have a 3-mana Ironfur Grizzly, 3 attack, 3 health with Taunt. I've got a 2-mana Lightwell, 0 attack, 5 health. At the start of your turn, restore 3 health to a damage-friendly character. A 2-mana Frostwolf Grunt, 2 attack, 2 health with Taunt, so my cheaper Taunt card. A 2-mana Shadow Word Pain spell, destroy a minion with 3 less attack. The coin, 0 mana, gain 1 mana crystal this turn only. And into my hand on my next turn comes a 6-mana Holy Fire spell, deal 5 damage, restore 5 health to your hero. More of a card for the mid to late game, not so useful in the early game. Speaking of early game, on the very first turn of that early game, Jaina puts on the board a Mana Worm, 1 mana, 1 attack, 3 health. Whenever you cast a spell, gain +1 attack. So looks like this might be a card that was chosen in constructed mode to leverage Jaina's spell casting ability. So this may be a spell heavy deck. That may be the reveal. That may be what is revealed by the Mana Worm. I think in poker this would be called a tell. Okay, playing Thorinar, level 23. What am I going to do on this turn? I want to make a move real quick, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a coin. I'm going to put down Frostwolf Grunt, and I'm going to end my turn. Actually, what do you guys think? That might have been a dumb move because she has a 2 mana. That's enough to use Fire Blast, which can ping 1 damage to a character. She may... Okay, no, she's not going to do that. She's going to use Frostbolt to remove the Frostwolf Grunt. You would think the Frostwolf Grunt might have a little bit more resistance to cold, but I guess Jaina's cold powers are just too strong. Frostwolf Bolt is a spell, 2 mana, deal 3 damage to a character and freeze it. Didn't even have time to freeze the Frostwolf Grunt because it just killed the Grunt. The Mana Worm gains extra attack from that spell being cast. Whenever you cast a spell, gain +1 attack. Now has 2 attack and delivers that 2 attack against my hero. Their turn ends and my turn starts, bringing into my hand a 5-mana Holy Nova spell. Deal 2 damage to all enemies, restore 2 health to all friendly characters. More of a mid to late game card, not very useful right now. In my hand, I have a 2-mana Shadow Word Pain spell. That's looking like the best move, so I'm going to play that to the board and just end my turn. I don't want to put the Lightwell down. I want to put down characters that have attack. So I think the next character I'm going to put down for my hand is the Ironfur Grizzly because it has 3 attack, unless something better comes in my hand on the next turn. Okay, Jaina casts a secret for 3 mana. I don't know what it is yet. What are the chances that it might be a mirror secret that will summon a... the mirror entity secret, to be exact. It could be a mirror entity secret, so the next minion that I play on the board may just get copied. If I had to get a minion copy, would I rather have it be the Lightwell or the Ironfur Grizzly? What would be more annoying? Her having a Lightwell that heals all her minions, or her having an Ironfur Grizzly that can do damage to my face? I think I would be more pissed off about... Actually, I can't decide. What would you guys be more annoyed with? Her having a Lightwell or her having an Ironfur Grizzly if you were in my shoes? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a card that can do damage. Throw down the Ironfur Grizzly. Let's see what it is. Yep, it was Mirror Entity, so she's getting a copy of the Grizzly. Hopefully she doesn't have a combo that she can play on her turn that will remove my Grizzly while keeping hers. That would be very annoying because I don't have many minions that can do damage right now. And by not having very many, I mean I have none. Bit of an understatement. She's fingering her cards, trying to figure out what she's going to play. Does she have options? Okay, no, she takes out my Grizzly, trades her Grizzly for my Grizzly, and casts Fireball. I prefer to use Fireball as more of a control spell, less as a spell to do damage to the enemy character, and more as a spell for removing those high-value minions from the board. But, hey, fair enough, that's what she wanted to do, so she does 6 damage to my character with the Fireball. And there's the board clear. Into my hand on this turn comes a 2-mana Divine Spirit spell, double a minion's health. I don't really have anything that I want to do right now. I could put the Light Well on the board, but there'd be really no point, because after it rests, what would it heal? It would heal nothing, and it can't really attack anything. So I think I'm just going to use this turn to heal my character, end my turn. I said I would explain why this is called Inner Spirit Priest. So if you guys didn't have a chance to watch the longer explanation, or if you just want the short version of it, here's the short version. It's called Inner Spirit Priest because this deck relies on 2 cards unique to the Priest category, Divine Spirit and Inner Fire. Divine Spirit doubles a minion's health, Inner Fire changes a minion's attack to be equal to its health. So if you use Divine Spirit and Inner Fire on a character that already has a lot of health to begin with, like a Mogashan Warden who has 7 health, you can double his health to something like 14 health, use Inner Fire to give it 14 attack, and then now you have a win condition card on the board. A card that can win the game for you because it has so much health it's hard to remove from the board, and so much attack that it can kill the enemy hero in 1 or 2 turns. So that's the general strategy of the Inner Spirit Priest deck, and that's also why it's called Inner Spirit Priest, because it's a portmanteau of Inner Fire and Divine Spirit. Anyways, into my hand comes a 1-mana Goldshire Footman, 1 mana, 1 attack, 2 health with Taunt. I think that looks like the card that I want to play this turn, and since now I have a Taunt card on the board to protect the Light Well, I'm going to throw the Light Well down. Not going to use Inner Fire just because I can. I'm just going to end my turn and hope for a better card on the next turn. I'm waiting for one of those powerful minions that I mentioned before, like the Mogashan Warden, a Berserker, a Ogre. All of those have 7 health, which makes them great targets for Divine Spirit plus Inner Fire combo. That will be my win condition. So I'm just buying time right now, waiting for my win condition to be drawn from the deck. Until then, I have a couple of removal spells to control things if Jaina gets a little too crazy. I've got the 6-mana Holy Fire and the Holy Nova for 5 mana. And we're now at the part of the game, mid-game, where I can start using those cards. So the next turn I'm going to have 6 mana. I'll be able to afford a Holy Fire and Holy Nova. Jaina puts on the board a 6-mana Argent Commander, 4 attack, 2 health, with Charge and Divine Shield. Charge means it can attack right away on its first turn without having to rest like all the other minions that get played to the board. And it has Divine Shield, which means that the first time it takes damage, it is immune to that damage. So you could do 100 damage to Argent Commander, and it would not take any damage at all so long as it had Divine Shield up. Alright, Argent Commander removes the Goldshire Footman from the board using its Divine Shield, and Lightwell heals my hero. Into my hand comes a 1-mana Power Word Shield spell, give a minion +2 health and draw a card. I'm so afraid of buffing this Lightwell with Divine Spirit and Inner Fire, because while that would make this a 10 attack, 10 health creature, Jaina could have a polymorph up her sleeve, which bothers me. You know, I'm just going to use Holy Fire to remove that Argent Commander, take that 4 damage off the board, and end my turn. I think so long as this Lightwell only has 0 attack, it's less likely to be targeted by a removal spell like Polymorph. And I want to keep the Lightwell on the board because it's a card that keeps my characters alive. What will Jaina do on this turn? She's got 7 mana to spend. She has 5 cards to spend it with.
I wonder.
Jaina wonders, and so do I. What's this card that she's looking at? Oh. Okay, she puts a legendary card on the board. Illidan Stormrage, 6 mana, 7 attack, 5 health. Here's the special flavor text on this card. Well, not the flavor text, this is the special ability. Whenever you play a card, summon a 2 attack, 1 health Flame of Azazel. So as long as this legendary card's on the board and she's putting cards on the board, Illidan will be summoning 2/1 creatures. Not cool. Huh. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put down Mogashan Warden. We're going to put down... Yeah, we're going to do it. We're just going to go for it. Take a risk. Put Divine Spirit and Inner Fire on Mogashan Warden and watch as Jaina polymorphs it on the next turn. But if she doesn't have a polymorph up her sleeve right now, then I'm in good luck because Illidan Stormrage won't be able to take out the Warden in one turn. Okay, they cast 3 mana Cone of Cold, freeze minion and the minions next to it, dealing 1 damage to them, freezing all my characters. Playing those cards summons Flames of Azeroth creatures to the board to attack 1 health. She also has played a 2 mana Sorcerer's Apprentice to the board. Your spells cost 1 less. 3 attack, 2 health, making all her spells cheaper. And that cheapness is allowing her to play more spells. And being able to play more spells has allowed Jaina to leverage Illidan Stormrage special ability, which is to summon all these annoying Flames of Azeroth to the board. So that's a big problem for me, but, and it's a big but, I've got Holy Nova up my sleeve. For 5 mana, I can do 2 damage to all enemies on the board and restore 2 health to all my creatures. That'll cost me 5 mana out of the 8 I have on this turn, so I have the potential, if I get the right card, to spend an additional 3 mana. I'm going to play Power Word Shield onto my Lightwell, just so I can draw cards, see what I get. Okay, 1 mana Goldchar Footman with 1 attack, 2 health, and taunt. Time to cast Holy Nova. Solve this problem here. Heal up my characters. And I'm going to throw down the Goldchar Footman just for good measure. And end turn. I'm hoping she doesn't have something like Flame Strike, which can deal a lot of damage to all the characters I have on the board right now. Okay, she doesn't play that. She plays a 1 mana Mirror Image spell. Oh, wait, she does play Flame Strike, so that removes the Goldchar Footman from the board and takes down the health of my Lightwell and the Mogushan Warden. Prior to that, she put down the Mirror Image spell, summoned 2 0 attack, 2 health minions with taunt, which is what we're seeing here. Into my hand on this turn comes a 6 mana Boulder Fist Ogre, 6 attack, 7 health. I got 2 of them. Going to play 1 to the board because that's all I can afford at the moment, and I'm going to use Lesser Heal to patch up the Mogushan Warden, keep him alive a little bit longer. Throw the Mogushan Warden into one of those taunt cards, removing it from the board, and just pray that the Mogushan Warden, my win condition card, stays alive long enough to win the game for me. They play an Azure Drake to the board, 5 mana, 4 attack, 4 health, spell damage, +1, Battlecry, draw card. The card they drew was a Kobold Geomancer played immediately to the board, 2 mana, 2 attack, 2 health, spell damage, +1. They're just top decking right now, looking for any way to survive. Into my hand on this turn comes a 1 mana Northshard Cleric, 1 attack, 3 health. Whenever a minion is healed, draw a card. I'm going to throw that down because I expect some healing to be done on this turn. I'm going to use the Boulder Fist Ogre to remove that taunt card. And I know what's coming on the next turn. What's coming is the Azure Drake and the Kobold Geomancer are going to come after Mogushan Warden. She's got 6 attack to put down. The Mogushan Warden only has 6 attack that it can take, so I could be losing this 14 attack damage very quickly. Do I go straight for Jaina's face with the 14 attack while I have it, or do I try and control the board, take down the Azure Drake? I have 2 mana to heal the Mogushan Warden, so it would take 4 damage, but it would effectively only take 2. Tricky situation. I'm going to put the Boulder Fist Ogre on the board. I'm going to heal the Mogushan Warden, see what card I get. I get Divine Spirit to double minion's health. Can't play that to the board. I'm going to go straight for Jaina's face. Seize the day. Because this minion has 8 health, it can't be taken off the board right away unless she does something like this, playing Blizzard. 6 mana spell. Deal, it's normally deal 2 damage to all enemy minions and freeze them, but because she had the 2 minions that do spell damage +1, Blizzard did 4 damage instead of its usual 2. Minions trade for minions. My Lightwell and my Warden are removed by the Azure Drake and the Kobold Geomancer, and Fire Blast is used to chip away at these Boulder Fist Ogres, who are now my win condition cards. Or they're the cards left over to finish off the job started by that Mogushan Warden that was buffed up by Divine Spirit and Inner Fire. The core strategy of this deck. I've got a Shadow Word Death spell coming into my hand on this turn. 3 mana, Shadow Word Death. Destroy a minion with an attack of 5 or more. There are There are no cards with enough attack to use that on right now. So I'm going to play Lesser Heal to bring up this ogre. And I'm going to save Divine Spirit. An argument can be made for playing Divine Spirits because if she had an area of effect spell that could remove these two ogres, I would very much regret not using Divine Spirit. She plays a taunt card to the board, 5 mana, Fan Creeper, 3 attack, 6 health with taunt, uses Fire Blast to keep chipping away at the Boulder Fist Ogre, trying to keep its health down for a eventual removal. Attacks directly at my hero with the Kobold Geomancer, and my turn starts, bringing me a Lightwell, 2 mana. At the start of your turn, restore 3 health to a damage-friendly character. Let's think for a moment. Do I... 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, I've got 10 mana, so I could technically play every single card that I have on the board right now. I'm going to put down the Lightwell. I'm going to heal one of these ogres. That ogre is going to attack that Fang Creeper. That Boulder Fist Ogre is likely to be removed by the Kobold Geomancer unless I put Divine Spirit on it. If I put Divine Spirit on it, it'll have 4 health, which means if she doesn't have any cards with charge or some kind of spell on the next turn, then her Kobold Geomancer won't be able to take out this ogre. But her Kobold Geomancer combined with the Fire Blast will be able to take out the other ogre. So I'm gonna assume that she's gonna take out one of my ogre. It's just a matter of which ogre can I buff up the most to preserve the longest. So I'm gonna play Divine Spirit on the ogre with the most health, doubling it to 6 health. And you know what? That gives me an avenue for keeping both my ogres on the board. I used the Boulder Fist Ogre to remove her Kobold Geomancer. Now she can only put down Fire Blast and whatever comes into her hand on this turn. Just one card. So I think my Boulder Fist Ogres have a high probability of being safe. Okay, unless she has a Fireball spell, 4 mana, deal 6 damage. She removes one of the Boulder Fist Ogres. She uses Fire Blast to ping the ogre, because she's trying to remove it turn after turn. The Lightwell does not heal the ogre as I wanted, but instead heals my character. But into my hand on this turn comes a Power Word Shield, 1 mana, give a minion plus 2 health, draw a card. I'm going to use that on Boulder Fist Ogre. I want to keep it alive. This card is going to win me the game. Into my hand comes a 5 mana Gurubosh Berserker. Whenever this minion takes damage, gain plus 3 attack. Why not put it on the board right away? Use Heal to heal up this Boulder Fist Ogre even further. Deal 6 damage to Jaina, bring her down to 8 health. I may be within range of a victory, but you never know what can happen in this game. She draws another card. Is it of any use? Oh, yes it is. She plays Ysera, a legendary card, 9 mana, 4 health, 12 damage, 12 health. Terrible special ability. At the end of your turn, draw a dream card. These dream cards are nuts. They're almost overpowered. They all do something really terrible, so I know whatever's in her hand is terrible. I need to finish her off now. But you know what? I have enough damage to win the game. She concedes. She sees that she can't win. Alright, looks like we have played another game with the Inner Spirit Priest, and the Inner Spirit Priest has prevailed, taking me further up the ladder. Or, well, it hasn't moved me up the ladder, but it's taking me closer to moving up the ladder. And if you haven't been following, the goal of this series is to get me to level 20, so I get that Curse of Naxxaramus card back, which you can only unlock by getting to level 20 on the ranked ladder. Stay tuned for more episodes if you want to see the conclusion of this series where eventually I get to level 20 and get that Naxxaramus card back, or if you just want to see more gameplay with this Inner Spirit deck, the Inner Spirit Priest deck. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm going to be starting up another game shortly, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.